Welcome to Two Psychics. This is Michael Edley, evidential medium and mystic, discussing all things spiritual.
Hello, I'm Mary Amy of Two Psychics, an intuitive wisdom coach, tapping into your mystical life and sharing messages I receive about you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here live with my fabulous co-host, Mary Amy. What is up, Mary Amy? How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Here we are. It's Two Psychics, episode 72, and it's October 30th. Tomorrow's Halloween, and it's about spirituality. And we have a wonderful guest, Dr. M, who is a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, as well as an author and a trauma coach.
Yes, Dr. Marcia-Elizabeth Thompson, right?
Yes.
But we will refer to her as Dr. M. Yeah, I'm curious to speak to her about a lot of the Chinese medicine, the acupuncture, the whole aspect of holistic healing. I find that near and dear to my heart. It's something that I think we can really tap into the natural healing abilities of the body and the healing. And when we combine that with the healing abilities of nature, amazing stuff can happen. And that's one of the biggest things that issues I see today in modern society is, everyone gets pulled onto traditional medical, system, the prescriptions. And it seems like, and granted, the traditional medical system has its benefits. If you break your arm, you definitely want to go and have that arm set, certain aspects to that. But the biggest issue I see is it seems like we're looking at the symptoms and not the root cause, where when we're looking at Chinese medicine, when we're looking at acupuncture, we're looking at the energy meridians throughout the body. It seems to address what is the base problematic thing that's going on. And let's get to that root cause and try to uncover that, So I'm curious to talk to Dr. M about her journey and, what led her on that holistic path. But yeah, it's interesting. And, speaking of energy, and the veil being very thin, again, you'd said Halloween. We're right on the cusp of Halloween and Samhain and all that interesting stuff. All the ghosts and ghouls and goblins will be out. So it's an interesting time. And I just got to spend some time up in Sleepy Hollow, New York. Very, very interesting for those of you that know the story of the Headless Horseman. Well, I was there. I was in the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, did a bunch of video from that place, and very, very interesting town. And the whole town, it's interesting that the whole focus of the town is based around Halloween, and the legend of Sleepy Hollow. So it was, and I know you spent some time there, and it's been an area that's much closer to you than it is to me. But I just, I found it fascinating of, the whole town and how the whole town was completely on board with, the Halloween theme. So it was cool. It was a cool little getaway.
Oh yeah, it's fun to get up there, and they have all like a little tour there, and they try to scare you a little bit, and there's a little gift shop, and the whole town actually celebrates it. And I can remember last year I went there. It must have been the weekend of or before Halloween, and you go and you get cider, hot cider, and some kind of pumpkin drink or pie. Yeah, no, I love Halloween. I did get to dress up already because I did live psychic readings at a Halloween party last Saturday night, not too far from where I am in Greenwich. And they said, be a gypsy. So I said, and so my friend Joan Cara, who's a psychic, she said, has so many invitations to be a psychic. She said, here's one for you, Mary. And so I get there, and I literally had to go shopping for the gypsy costume so that I looked authentic, and I have it now. I'm going to get a whole array of psychic costumes with the little metal, the little beaded skirt that has little metal pieces on it, and the scarf and the whole routine. And I love doing it. It's tiring though. You do it for 2.5 hours and then my brain's going, oh, I can't do this anymore. I'm in pain. And then Sunday I have to
The
rest.
funny, yeah, the rest on it. Yeah, yeah. The funny thing when you talk about gypsy and your gypsy outfit, I remember as a kid, you know, because well, those of you that don't know, half my family were wearing, you know, Romney Hungarian gypsies. And as a kid, my mom would say, "Don't tell people you're a gypsy." I remember one Halloween wanting to dress up as a gypsy, and you know, it. I guess you know it was frowned upon a little bit in the background of gypsies and gypsies, you know, manipulating, you know, the markets and the villages and all that good stuff. But yeah, interesting. And that's for whatever reason, when you were speaking about your gypsy outfit, it just brought me back to that moment with my mom talking about, you don't want to tell people you're a gypsy. And now, you know, I have to embrace it because part of my lineage as a medium, you know, absolutely comes from that side of my family. So long lineage of palm readers and tea leaf readers and astrologers and all that good stuff. Look at that.
Yeah. So I said, so she had said to me, now, Mary, Joan Cara said, now, Mary, you have to wear a gypsy costume and you have to decorate the table. And I'm going to tell you right now, exactly what you just said about gypsy was some of the feedback that I got. Oh, that's derogatory. I said, what are you talking about? It's a great thing. I mean, I think it's fantastic. The gypsies were the fortune tellers and they would look in their crystal ball. So I got a crystal ball. And then I got this little, and it has spiritual meanings of it, which is for a raven. It says freedom, divinity, mischief, keeper of secrets, protective, spiritual insight and wisdom. And what's so crazy is that the day before, or it might have been that morning, I went and I was in a parking lot and there was 20, like, I don't know if they were ravens, but they were crows. And I thought, that's kind of weird. I've never seen that before. But anyway, I got to actually have this. So now I'm going to build up some whole repertoire of costumes. So I'll be doing psychic readings because, you know, a lot of times people want some kind of entertainment for a party. And I've done that in the past. But now I sense that I'm going to get more of these. And it's fun. You know, 2.5 hours is my limit to go because I didn't take a break. That was a long time.
Well, you have to be mindful of your energy, you know, and it's very important. Any practitioners out there, whether you're doing psychic work, medium work, you know, energy healing, whatever it may be, you absolutely have to be very mindful of your energy, you know, energy that you're coming in contact with, energy that you're putting out there, you know, so it's definitely something to keep track of and make sure you're regulating it properly so you don't become depleted and have to recover the whole next day. But yeah, it's interesting. And what's funny is, you know, with the gypsy theme, when I found out, you know, what my gypsy lineage was and researching, you know, gypsies and how they would come into town on, you know, and on the horse and buggy wagon. And, you know, you would have the female gypsies, set up shop and they would read palms and they would, you know, do your psychic readings. And then they would talk about how the male gypsies would go around and they would try to, you know, work out weird business deals on the back end around that, or maybe, you know, engage in some not so on the up and up business activities. So yeah, it was funny, you know, and it's an interesting thing looking back on it now. And, you know, I mean, now it's something I embrace and it's something where I can see that direct correlation to why I'm a medium and, you know, why I felt so called to doing this. And, you know, it was interesting, even with my grandmother, after she had passed, she left a whole diary of prophetic writings, you know, that all played out. And I wish I had those and I wish I could like kind of look back and read them. I'm not sure what happened to all her journals, but a lot of what we see today in the world of psychics and mediums and energy healers, you know, a lot of that originated from the you know, the Romney gypsy heritage. So it's interesting with my heritage being tied into that. So I guess you could say I was just naturally called to do this work, you know.
I believe you were. I mean, we all, those that discover and engage with their calling, and some of my friends who are in this industry, psychics and mediums and channelers, they were doing another occupation, and it was like you had to do it. It's a total awakening. Like, people don't understand. You sense you have to do it. It's your path. And that's how I am. I can't help it. This is what I'm supposed to do. I just want to let everyone know out there, I'm so grateful tonight. I believe that we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. And anyone out there, if you would like to reach out to us and come on and get a reading, we can do this in a chat, or we can do it via email. We can bring you on as a guest. You can reach out to Michael Edley, eyeofthespirits.com, or myself, MaryAmyOfficial.com. You can find us up there.
So somehow our video went down. It's that two psychics electronic interference. But yeah, I do believe I'm streaming live on my Eye of the Spirits with Michael Edley Facebook page. I think I see some comments and things popping up there on the screen. I'm not totally sure, because unfortunately right now I am streaming from my phone, because my office and the room I normally do my podcast in is all getting renovated and redone. But
how do you want to get back on? Can you get back on? Because I don't see you.
Back on. You're not seeing me? Are you hearing me?
You're not here. You're invisible.
Oh wow, I'm invisible. That's very bizarre. I don't know. I'm here on my end, and I'm seeing myself on my end. Let me mute.
No, the camera stopped working for some reason. Let me just see. That's so crazy, right? Everybody else there, hello. Can you see me? I don't see you, Michael.
All Hallows Eve. You can hear. I'm a ghost. It's my costume. I'm in ghost form tonight.
I love that. All right, so wait, you know what? Let me try this layout. Did that work? Nope, you're still gone. That's so weird.
That's weird. On my end, I am seeing myself.
And it's also very, there's a lot of feedback too.
I can try to log off and log back on, but then you're going to be solo for a minute.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to log off, and hopefully my ghost costume will manifest into an actual human.
Don't worry, I'll find something to talk about till you come back.
All right, I'm off.
Okay. All right, so anyway, everyone out there, so we do live events, and if you were watching a few weeks ago, we were in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and we did a live event for 200 people. And then last week we were in Rye, New York, and we were at Anna Maria's Wine Bar, and we're going to go back there, and we're talking about getting a animal whisperer. And we also did an event in I don't see him though. There he is. So let's get rid of this maybe. Hello?
Am I officially back on?
Yeah, I'm going to kick this guy out because you have another. There you go.
That's
now you're
ghost.
back on.
That's my ghost.
See, that wasn't
now
even a minute.
All right.
Okay, and so anyone who's out there, please like our Facebook page, Two Psychics. We're gonna have now he's gone again. You're gone
That's
again.
weird. Am I here?
I don't see
am
you.
I here? Or okay. I'm live on my Facebook page. Can you see me, or you can't see me?
Can't see you.
You can't see me?
No.
I'm gone again. But you can hear me.
I can hear you.
This is a damn good Halloween costume, isn't it?
All right.
I'm going to log off and I'll log on again, and my body will manifest.
Okay. Okay, everyone. So before he comes back on, tonight's topic, and we also have our guest, is spirituality. What exactly is spirituality? It's searching for the meaning of life. And maybe you've had an awakening, a spiritual awakening. I have, which I discovered we are all one. Now, you might begin to have thoughts of reaching a higher plateau of compassion to living things, creature, creatures and self, and release of focus and over-evaluating.
I'm back.
Material. Okay, so I'm just talking about spirituality before we have our guest come on. I'm speaking
You can
about.
see me though, right?
I
My
can,
human
and I can
costume
hear
has
you
manifested.
too.
Okay. So now my
This is
costume
very
is a
funny.
psychic medium.
This is very funny. Okay, so spirituality is thoughts of reaching a higher plateau of compassion to living things, creatures, and self. It's a release of focus and overvaluing material wealth and possessions. Rather, there's awareness to the elements of nature, your earth, air, water, ether, and fire, an acknowledgement of your personal spiritual journey, a connection to self. Has anyone out there had this? Discovery of the meaning of life and your purpose. How do you become more spiritual? You be present in the moment, peace and heart space, mind, body, and spirit harmony in the physical reality. Mike?
Meditation is definitely meditation is definitely a good
Yes.
thing. And it's
Yes.
interesting because, you know, we hear this conversation a lot, and I hear this of, you know, are you spiritual or are you religious, or, you know, where are you coming from? And I could definitely say there is a cohesiveness that we could find weaved between the two, but I think it's an important conversation to have of, you know, spirituality I don't feel is as confined and restricted as traditional religion, but I think we should get to a place in modern society where we all can say, you know, we have just found this divine center, and we can allow the divine energy to transcend through us. You know, and it doesn't matter whether we're spiritual or religious, or if we want to find one sect that we're aligned with. I think we can all say we have this divine energy that transcends through us, and every human that walks this planet has the God-given ability to do energy work, to do psychic work, to do mediumship. You know, it is our God-given gift. And regardless of your spirituality or your religion, this is something that we are all open to and we all possess.
I have to be me. And who am I? I am someone who is, I love to walk outside in nature by myself. I appreciate technology, but I can do without it. And I have to believe that we are all connected. And I believe of the law of cause and effect, which we can change outcomes, and our words, actions, and thoughts matter. And I believe light, nature, and dreams will aid you on your spiritual journey. And it's about finding who you are and tuning inward to your heart space. And I mean, yes, I love nice things. However, it's more important the way people feel, and if you're doing something you're passionate about.
Yeah, and I think we have to look at what is the energy that's either bringing us together and healing us, you know, as a society, as all humans living amongst each other, or what is dividing us, you know. And I could say, if whatever your belief is dividing people, is separating people, is making people feel left out and disincluded, then I can't say that's the right path. But if what your beliefs are bringing people together, it's unifying us, it's unifying our energy, looking for collective healing, then we're on track, you know. And I think for me, that's kind of, you know, that's my compass. And what I could say is, on my journey, you know, because anyone that knows my story knows that I've had one of the most diverse upbringings of spirituality and religion. So I've seen all sides of it. And in that journey, you know, I've studied with I've studied, you know, Kabbalah Judaism. I've studied with Buddhist monks. I've studied shamanic practitioners, you know, with shamanic practitioners, with charismatic Catholics, with Protestants, with, you know, I've looked into, researched, and kind of gone down the deep dive with many different aspects of spirituality and religion. And the one thing I can say is we are all interconnected. We all come from a divine source, and the journey is inward, and regardless of where you're coming from, I think those three things absolutely connect everything.
Starts here, not out here.
Yeah.
We can change outcomes here. And
Well,
you know what? You just do it. Just don't even think about it. Don't think too much. Just follow your heart. Follow what your vision is. Today, I said to myself, I'm making my world smaller. I can't do all this out here. It's not good for me. There's some people that have like a different outlook than me, and it's too much. And I'm not about debate. I'm just going to close my world more and make it smaller. Otherwise, it's exhausting. I can't do it.
I think debate is good. I think debate's good because we can hear where other sides are coming from. And believe me, I've been in a lot of heated debates, and I don't say that I know everything or everything that I think is 100%. I am absolutely open to listen. I'm absolutely open to hear all the conversations around it. But the one thing that was even presented to me is, as a lot of spiritualists say, going inward, going inward, and, is going inward connecting to your ego and disconnecting from source, disconnecting from God. And I would say absolutely not. I would say going inward is connecting you to that divine energy that resides within and connects each of us. So it's part of that inward journey of connecting to that omnipotent, omnivorous, all-compassing and all-knowing energy that intertwines the universe and intertwines every human being. So that's the one thing. I think that's where certain people, I've heard this come from certain aspects of people looking at mediumship or psychic abilities or those type of things as something that's not of God. And I can tell you absolutely what I do is completely 100% divinely guided. And I could say anyone that's doing this work in the right way and doing it from that divine center is absolutely connecting and channeling source. There's no doubt about it. I think there's a lot of things that have been misconstrued, manipulated, and if we look back at different ancient cultures that predate organized religion, I think they knew there was a divine source connection that intertwines all of us. And I think that's what we're getting back to, and it's not putting down any one religion or any one belief. It's showing people that all religions, all aspects of spirituality, we're all interconnected, and we're all divinely guided, and we all come from that same source creation, absolutely.
Okay, so I thank you for saying all of that. I was just actually distracted because I was making sure that our guest got emailed, and I realized when you send it from a different email, because I have a Two Psychics email, sometimes it pops into a spam and people don't realize it's there. Okay, so I have an explanation of, he's gone again. Michael, you're gone again.
That is the weirdest thing. So everything is cutting out. I don't know why. So you can just hear me now. It's my ghost costume is back. Is that what it is? You can't see me?
Yeah. Your ghost costume. So what you go, and then I will, by the time you figure it out, she's going to pop. I'll finish explaining all about Dr. M. Okay. So
okay, I'm going to go switch back into my human psychic medium costume.
Oh my God, what's going on tonight? Okay. You go do that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so here we are. Hi, everyone. I know it's technology when you have two psychics from the East Coast. All right, Dr. M is Marcia-Elizabeth Thompson, and she's a certified and licensed doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, specializing in the treatment of abuse, trauma, and addiction recovery. She is the creator of, I'm just bringing them back on. She is the creator of the Solution Ascending into Prosperity. She has been the single owner operator of 2 boutique acupuncture practices, one of Manhattan, on Manhattan's 5th Avenue, and the other in Rye, New York. And that's how I met Dr. M, treating a diverse range of presentations between her New York City professional dance world patient families. And again, I don't know what's happening there. It's so strange. Very weird. I apologize. Treating a diverse range of presentations between her New York City professional dance world patient base and the families of Wall Street's hedge fund and venture capitalist elite. She continues her work of optimal health and consciousness cultivation, now based on the Pacific coast of Mexico, where she works virtually with patients seeking to recover from the varied presentations associated with developmental trauma, applying the conscious inquiry model of Eastern philosophy, somatic therapy, EMDR, and the internal family systems method. Let's see if this works now. Truly integrated practitioner Dr. Thompson is certified in the application of EMDR, the only method clinically proven to heal the physical symptoms and psycho-emotional distress of traumatic memory in the application of her signature method of recovery. She also merges theory and applications of the internal family systems, somatic experiencing, and the Eastern philosophical methods in the cultivation of consciousness. Okay. She is the creator of the Solution Ascending into Prosperity, an 8-week program for comprehensive CPTSD recovery that teaches women to rewire and rewrite their prosperity code by resolving abandonment trauma as it shows up in their money narrative. I'm not going to continue because I know she can tell everyone so much more about herself, and I will keep talking. Michael keeps starting again. I don't know what's going on with this. It's just very weird tonight. And I'm bringing her on stage. Hi. So before you came on, for some reason, the technology aspect, we're streaming on YouTube and Facebook, Dr. M. And so Michael pops in, we can hear him, but we can't see him. So I'm hoping the next time he stays.
I hope so. I've been listening for the last 10 minutes or so, and I caught some of the technology glitches. It happens sometimes. It happens. Thank you for having me.
Here we go.
Hi.
Hello. Now you have the
back.
other half of 2 seconds. Hello, Dr. M. Dr. Marcia-Elizabeth Thompson. I'll give you the full name and introduction. Appreciate it. Here on the East Coast, we are dealing with some severe storms, so I think it might be knocking out maybe some of the satellites or towers. I'm not sure, but if I cut in and out, that's all right. Mary Amy will take over. But it's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for inviting me. It's good to be back with Mary Amy, and so nice to be just talking with you and your audience tonight.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, and you have a wide repertoire of skills and interests and things that you've done. And I have to commend you. You know, I know just from my own experience, you know, I was a business owner with my own company for 21 years, running multiple different brick and mortar stores, different things. And it seems like you kind of had that same journey. You know, look, I know Mary Amy had talked about you running a facility out of Manhattan, and you were in Rye, New York, and now you're in Mexico.
I am.
So I commend you for that. I know it's it's not an easy.
Oh, bless you.
Maybe cutting.
You're
Can you hear my voice? I'm wondering though. Can you hear my voice, Mary Amy? But my video is out.
Oh my God. This is so bizarre. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Okay. He'll be back. It is probably the storm. I didn't even think about that.
Where is he?
He's down the Jersey Shore.
Oh, well, not far from you. There's a storm. Oh, the Cat 5 that decimated Jamaica has now made its way up to you.
Well, we had a terrible storm here today, so maybe he's getting it.
That sounds like the leftovers of the storm that went through the Caribbean and flattened Jamaica and the other islands there. It always works its way up the East Coast. And if it was a Cat 5 down there, it's going to be severe for you in the Northeast.
Yeah. Okay, so Dr. M,
Hi.
How about if you share with us what you've been up to in Mexico with, you've been working with trauma recovery?
I have been, yeah, and I'm really thankful for the place that my life and my work has taken me, where it's brought me. Hi, Michael, welcome back. Hopefully it'll stay
Hello.
stable. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully my internet connection stays. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or what's going on here.
Well, you know,
But,
we were just
I'm
saying
glad
as
to
you
be
were
back.
back, the storm that just flattened Jamaica and the Caribbean is now the weather that you're getting up where you are. So if it was a category 5 hurricane down there, it's going to be severe weather for you. So these things are to be expected. There goes your video.
Is my video gone again?
Yeah,
Okay, but you can hear me?
I can.
I don't know if Mary Amy cannot.
I can hear
All
you.
right.
I just muted my mic because it's too staticky when I have mic. So I don't know what, do you want to leave again and come back, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I will, yeah, you can start the conversation and you can carry on with Dr. M, and then I'll log off and try to.
Did he get dropped?
No, I just took him off because you know what? Let's just.
Cut him.
Okay. No, because it's happened 50 times now.
Oh, has it been that many times? Like seriously, 50
Well,
times?
no, seriously, it probably happened 5 or 6 times before you came on. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I believe it's probably from the storm.
Yeah, I
We'll
mean,
come back on. At least we're having a sense of humor about it. You know, it's. I don't know what to say. I'm just keep moving.
well,
He's
that's
back.
the thing. Yeah, let's
I'm
see
sorry, you're in the middle of talking. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay.
Oh no, that's all right. That's all right.
Oh, yeah. She
I'm
cut you, by the way. She just cut you out. No.
That's all right. We don't need to hear what I have to say. It's all good.
No, I do. I always want to hear what you have to say.
This is great. I'm having a ball. I don't know what to do. Probably not so fun for you, Michael. I'm sorry things are so dysregulated. Maybe we want to do a nervous system regulating exercise. I'm laughing until I'm crying.
Where's the light? I don't see you now. No light.
Now I have no light. I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna roll with it and go, yeah, there's some weird electronic stuff going on around me. You know, sometimes as a medium, that stuff happens.
It happens, man.
But
It
that's all right, because we don't need to see my face when we have your two beautiful faces to look at. So it's all right.
Look at that. No, that so sincerely happens. I mean, I don't work as a medium as the two of you do. And at the same time, I do as a Chinese medicine practitioner. I'm the inch any of us who works with other people in their incarnations and their soul's journey serves as a medium between the divine and the metaphysical and the three.
Is my video?
Your video is gone. Your audio.
When you were a kid, did you ever see the movie The Invisible Man?
I'm gonna say it's my ghost costume. Just call me Mike the Ghost tonight, and I think I'll go without a video. All right, I'm gonna. So
you have a superpower.
You're not. So are you not getting any video right now of me?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna log back off and let me see what's going on. So the conversation. I apologize to any of our Two Psychics podcast listeners out there. We're keeping it exciting, but you have the phenomenal Dr. M and Mary Amy to listen to, and I'm gonna just be jumping in periodically. Let me try to log back in again.
Live television. For anyone in the audience, this is live television. This is what happens when you're live. And any of us doing this these days, like my hat's off to Mary. Mary Amy, for years you have been doing this. You brought me in for 5D chat when you were working on 5D chat.
Yeah.
You have been doing this for years, and I commend you for doing this week after week consistently, because live television is no joke. It's not like we're in a studio on a set where you can do take after take after take until you get it right. And this is real deal. We're not reading from a script. This is not fiction. This is life
Yeah.
taking place right here, right now. And you take responsibility for this every single week. It is an incredible undertaking that
Oh,
you
you're being nice. I love it.
so
I
serious.
love it. I love it. I love it. And I love the more I do it. And I found that I love doing live events as well. And he's awesome. And now here we are. You're episode 72.
Wow.
Your episode. So okay, let's try to continue so we can get through more than one sentence about what you're trying to work, or whatever you would like to speak about. Your book, what you do. He's back. He's waving at us. He's back. Hi.
Hi, welcome back. You're mute.
I'm here. I don't know for how long, but temporarily I am here.
Okay. So I was just saying to Mel, what would you like, whatever she would like to tell us about her work?
We just witnessed it, really, because I work with trauma. And when I started out in grad school for Chinese medicine, before I got my doctoral degree in Chinese medicine, I would sit there in clinic. You know, it's very similar. Going to Chinese medical school is very similar to going to Western medical school in that there are clinic rotations, and you treat patients before you go out into the world and treat patients. But sitting there, and you do all these case studies in class, and you learn how to diagnose and evaluate people. And I realized after a while, I'm listening to people's stories. That's what this is. I'm listening to people's stories as they manifest in the narrative of someone's body. Something's wrong. I have pain. I have this. I have an autoimmune disorder. I have anxiety. I can't sleep. Name it, whatever it is. It's a story. It's information that my patient's body is giving me about something that is disharmonious or dysregulated in their life narrative. And what I realized after a while is that I'm listening to the stories of where people's lives have gone off track. And in the most severe and significant of cases, it's what we call trauma. And it's a developmental trauma that took place so early on in the life narrative that in present day time, 4 decades, 5 decades later in our 40s and 50s, we don't realize that the issue has its root decades ago. And that's the beautiful and brilliant thing about Chinese medicine. It's root medicine. It's like, what's the original story? What actually happened? Where did things go awry? And that's what I work with. I help people. And at this point, I'm working with women, 40s, 50s, 60s, with significant physical diagnoses, cancer diagnoses. Someone just came to me, I'm breaking out in these canker sores and I don't understand why, and I can't eat, I can't sleep. I have IBS, IBD, I can't get pregnant, all the things. But it's like, what I'm finding over and over and over again is that the original issue really is residing in the developmental narrative in the earliest childhood years, which then requires me and the person with whom I'm working to look at the people who came before them, because it's a family culture that creates the environment in which we develop. So, things that get called transgenerational traumas. This is what I work with. And I find that I'm most effective for the people with whom I work now by looking at our money narrative. How is our ability or inability to express ourselves financially and live a satisfying, fulfilling financial life reflective of the unmet needs of our developmental years? And how, as we meet these financial needs in present time, we go back and meet the needs of the developmental years and resolve the traumas by healing the person in the present. There he goes again. I got through that though before he dropped off.
He's gone.
She cut him out again.
That was beautiful what you just said, and it was accurate.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes it's one life event or more than one life event, and it's never released, and I had something happen, and I actually did work with a shaman because parts of my soul had departed, and shaman brought my soul back. It was scattered, and after you get some healing work like what you do, how does that show up with the patient, the client? What comes after that?
Usually, because we are three-dimensional beings, hey, welcome back, Michael. Usually because we are three-dimensional beings and because we are evidence-based, we need to see things in order to believe them. Jesus said, lest you see miracles, you will not believe. We need to see things in the physical dimension in order to understand what's taking place in the metaphysical, or how the mind and the personality and the soul are changing. So the things that first start to present that serve as evidence for the patient is resolution of physical symptoms. I can sleep better. My anxiety stops.
Nope.
There goes Michael's audio.
I'm hearing audio, but no.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
Poor Michael. This is reminding me, do you remember that movie, A Christmas Story, with Peter Billingsley?
Yes, of course.
And he wanted the BB gun, the Red Ryder BB gun.
Yes.
He had a little brother who had this impossible to move in snowsuit, and he would always fall in the snow. Michael's like the little brother in the snowsuit tonight.
This is comedy.
It is.
It's comedic. It's comedic, Michael. You just keep.
I have to think. See, I don't have normal internet. I actually have satellite internet connection, so I have to think that the storm, even if I was hardwired in right now, I don't think it has anything to do with my Wi-Fi. I think it has to do with my data link because I'm actually linked into satellite, so I think that's probably what's going on with that storm. So let me do this because I may cut out, but I would like to present Dr. M with one question, and I think it's something I always love asking any of our guests, and I don't want to interrupt if we were deep in some other conversation, but I always like to know, since you're so tied into acupuncture, Chinese medicine, to more holistic aspect of medicine and healing, was there a point in time where you were looking down a traditional path and you saw that wasn't necessarily the answer, or where did the journey start? What led you on this holistic healing path?
Good question. At age 9, I thought I was going to go to Western med school. Both of my parents were registered nurses. I was proficient in the math and sciences, loved math and sciences as a kid. Oh, there he goes again. And
am I still here by audio? If I'm here by audio, that's fine.
Here by audio.
Yeah. We get a lot of feedback, which is strange at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
interesting.
Does it work if Michael mutes his mic? I don't know.
Well, let's see if he mutes it.
All right. So I've been muting it, so I don't know where the feedback's coming because I've been muting. So let me mute again, see if it goes away.
Yeah, it's gone.
It seems that way. Yeah.
The feedback's gone, Michael.
Yeah, and we have a comment from Suzanne.
We do. A very interesting conversation. We've had a few comments. Trauma coach, excited, very interesting conversation from Suzanne.
Oh yeah, I can see those now. They're tiny on my end. Suzanne's the only one that popped up big.
Oh, okay. So, Michael, Dr. M was responding to your question.
Yeah.
You were planning on going to Western school.
Western med school from a kid. We imprint ourselves, our parents imprint themselves on us. It's I'm going to be like my parents, but I had a propensity and a real love for math and sciences and fascinated by the body. And dinner conversation from my registered nurse parents was what took place in the OR that day. So that's what I was around. It's I'm going to go to med school. But and my own traumatic narrative. This is the beauty of doing this work. It's looking at my own family history of developmental traumas. I'll go into a little bit of detailing. My mother was adopted at age 2, adopted into a family. We're a strong content advisory for anyone who has a sensitive emotional and nervous system. Welcome back, Michael. My mother was adopted at age 2 into a family she remembers being given away by her birth mother. That's significant abandonment trauma. Adopted into a family where she was the adopted daughter of a narcissistic alcoholic who was a member of a cult. That was the father archetype. The mother archetype, my maternal grandmother, was an enabler herself, whom I've just come to appreciate and figure out, had her own history of sexual abuse in her life narrative. My mother incested, violated violently by this adoptive father.
Oh my God.
That's the mother archetype. Father archetype, my father, is a product of incest himself. So his mother is his sister and his father is his grandfather. And these are the people who produced me with that psychology and that emotional information and parental unavailability. My father's mother, emotionally violent. I mean, she was violated repeatedly by her own father to the extent that it produced a child. She was never able to connect emotionally to my father or anybody.
Mm.
So this is my transgenerational inheritance. You know,
It's a lot.
the genetic imprint. It's the epigenetic imprint. I have my own history of incest, and without any of that having been addressed in a house that was haunted. So there was paranormal activity taking place in the house. At least one murder was alleged to have taken place in the house. So there was that level of energetic violence and intensity. These are all the things that are imbuing themselves into my nervous, psychological, spiritual, and emotional systems. And I got to a point where I had my own nervous breakdown and wasn't able to function to my aptitude, equal to my aptitude. My own incest history as well. So these are the things that initially were viewed as like knocking me off course. I decided I didn't want to go to Western medical school, but by the time, and the short answer to Michael's question of how did I get here, is having had my own series of injuries. I became a professional dancer. I left my biochem major, biochem pre-med major, and became a professional dancer. I was in Stomp, touring internationally for 7 years, if anybody remembers that show. But it was a series of physical injuries and my own practice of meditation. Life was always leading me in the direction of Eastern philosophies because I grew up in New York City, born in the Bronx, raised in the Bronx, and I would go down to Chinatown in high school, and I always just felt at home in Chinatown. I have Jamaican heritage, but whenever I got to Chinatown, something in me just settled and felt at home. So I take that to mean past life expressions that are identifying with present day environments. And meditation practices, Eastern practices, led me to Chinese medicine school, where I recognized that's where my leanings toward medicine and the treatment of physical disharmonies as a superficial expression of psycho-emotional and spiritual and karmic narratives came together. You missed most of that. I just finished.
That's fine. I'll get it on the replay.
Right on.
So I think what I've decided, if my video cuts out, I will just stay on with audio. I'll mute, and I'll pop back on for some questions periodically. I think that might work best, and everyone will get to focus in on you two, and I don't think it matters if they see me or not.
It allows you to stay with us too.
Yeah. So if I cut out again, I'll just stay on audio, and I'll periodically jump back on with a question here or there.
Yeah. And
I did a little read on your voice when you were speaking.
Me or Michael?
You.
Me?
So this is what I got. So I got a heart within a heart, and then I saw a stream. This is interesting, a stream that led to a sandy beach. I received your visitor of nature. Then again, the heart came up with love. Okay, see it? Do you see it? See it?
I can't, but I believe you, and I believe you. Okay, I see it now.
And then I got a package, and I saw you giving a package.
There goes my video, I think. My video is gone, right?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna just mute you right now. Okay, so gifts to others. So you give gifts to others. Then I received whiplash. Things, whiplash, and you're alone. And then I received you're with no, together and others, together and others, together and others. Or not, like you're together with yourself and then others. That's what I meant. But then I got fishing rod. So what was so interesting was I got received 2 hearts about you, which and love, right? Your heart space, and then a stream. But then I got last thing fishing rod. You're fishing. You're always fishing for something. I don't know. That's what I received.
You know, when you said fishing rod, I thought of there's the Bible reference being a fisher of men or a fisher of people. And it brought to mind a vision you had of me and for me. I don't know if you remember this years ago. You saw me in either red or gold. I don't remember
It was
what.
gold. I remember it. I still remember it. In a parade.
Parade and like leading all these people.
Right. And you had a gold, and you had a costume on. It was gold and white, and you were carrying some kind of ornamental staff, and you came through this cliffy. It was stone and cliffs, and you came around, and I was in this glass building, and you came up to it, but you were the leader of all these people. Yeah.
I trust you.
Aw.
Since I sincerely, genuinely trust you. I'm so thankful you came into my life and that we have remained connected. I say that in all sincerity, truly from the center of my heart. You're one of the first people at that time in my life that I was able to really, truly trust, because you're just transparent and present and open and clear. Your viewers don't know this, but we would go for walks together by the water, and we would talk and get to know one another. And I value you. I value our relationship and your level of integrity and honesty. So thank you. I give thanks for you.
I really appreciate you saying that. I didn't know you were going to say that. I feel exactly the same way, because you changed my life. And you know this, that I had a feeling, okay, I've been doing readings. I'm an intuitive wisdom coach. I'm an ordained minister, a Reiki master. I need to go work out of an office. Oh, sorry about the technical difficulties, Michael's saying. It's okay.
Hey, Michael.
And I said, I just decided when I'm going to this office in town, and I just didn't even know who was there. And I knocked on the door and I said, oh, what is this? Oh, it's acupuncture. Oh, can I work out of this office? Do you remember? I just knocked on your door, and you probably thought, who is this person?
I did, because you were just so bright. But that's the thing too, because you were just so bright. Hey,
I'm back.
Oh, you didn't hear me say this when you were gone. Do you remember the movie A Christmas Story with Peter Billingsley, and he wanted the Red Ryder BB gun, and everyone's like, oh, you shoot your eye out. Yeah, okay. So he had this little brother. This is the second time the audience is hearing this. He had this little brother who had like the big snowsuit, and he could barely move in the snowsuit, and he kept getting like knocked down in the snow. Yeah, you're reminding me of the little brother tonight who's like in the snowsuit. And you're like, hey,
yeah. That, and the funny thing is, you bring that up. That is my absolute favorite Christmas story.
I
know. Tune it in. Yeah, you didn't know that.
It's just about that time too, because Thanksgiving is right around the corner. November starts on Saturday, and it's going to be like Christmas Story marathon on TNT or whatever channel they have it on these days.
So while I have a moment of some video and audio, is it okay for me to ask a question?
It is for me. I'm just going to hush you.
Ask a question.
Because my video is probably going to cut out soon, and then I'll just mute it, and then I'll be a listener. But so Dr. M, I'm curious, where do you see the aspect of holistic medicine and traditional medicine finding some common ground, and maybe we find some type of hybrid medical treatment that's not just looking at treating the symptoms? And that's something Mary, Amy, and I spoke about earlier, and I heard you touch upon, to where we're actually utilizing holistic modalities with traditional medicine and trying to get to the root causes and seeing some kind of common ground. Do you see that unfolding anytime soon, or do you think there's still a road to be traveled with that?
Oh, no. I mean, there are always roads to be traveled because we're eternal and things will continue to evolve and unfold. But, it's taking place right now. It's Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York City is one of the examples. Johns Hopkins Medical Center in Maryland, UCLA Hospital, the major hospitals and some not so major hospitals. But Sloan came up for me first because I'm from New York City, so I know Sloan. And I treated a patient who was undergoing treatment for colon cancer many years ago at Sloan. This was well over 10 years ago. And they had an integrated holistic west-east conventional versus more historical, traditional, natural medicine integration. They were teaching meditation. We just lost your video, just so you know.
All right, I'm just going to stay on audio for now.
Yeah, all good. They were offering meditation. They had acupuncture. I am working with someone right now who's undergoing treatment at Sloan for multiple myeloma, which is blood marrow cancer. And they're offering yoga, craniosacral therapy, meditation remains, acupuncture remains. The challenge in integrating natural medicines or more root medicines with contemporary medicine is that because, and I was saying earlier, we're evidence-based three-dimensional beings. We need to see things in the 3D in order to believe in them. And because the financial structures and the bureaucratic structures we have want to see a certain number of numbers in order to legitimize a medicine, which can only be legitimized and understood from person to person, because each individual is a critical X factor in the way the medicine is interpreted and experienced and realized. It makes it difficult to bring to bear the fullness of a natural medicine's potential in a contemporary clinical environment. That's the challenge we face. As I live in Mexico now, and I'm thankful I'm here, where we don't have as many limitations on the practice and the expression of natural medicine. And people who come down here for treatment are more open and not as suspicious of natural medicines. So we get a lot more done here. And we're able to bring to bear the full potential and the power of the medicine here that can't always happen for legal reasons. Licensing, liability insurance can tie a practitioner's hands. There are a number of different things that are active and in place in the developed worlds that prevent full integration of the medicines. The more, and I'll say this as a final point, the more we understand that quantum physics and quantum mechanics is explaining in current day terms what has already been understood for thousands of years, and how that's going to serve as evidence for those of us who need to see it, the more we'll see an easier integration and assimilation of natural medicines into our contemporary medical models.
In other words, so the alternative modalities and the regular hospital regular hospital practices are now being integrated. are they hitting a wall where are they working in harmony together, or are they uh, are they um, are they hitting a wall? Like, are they working together, or is one going to cross the other one out?
Excuse me, I don't think anything is going to cross anything out, because we, even as we expand,
Yeah.
because our very universe, this physical universe, is constantly expanding at an increasing rate of expansion. So things continue to evolve and expand. And at the same time as things are expanding, they're moving toward a singularity.
Oh, okay.
So these medicines, as they're evolving and learning how to work with one another, like galaxies that collide, like galaxies that flow into one another, there's going to be a singularity. And I think those singularities take place in each individual relationship. The systems and the structures that are in place, particularly with the contemporary Western medical model, that system is so big. It's such a leviathan, and it has so much money behind it, and the force of money and regulation and bureaucracy behind it, that it makes it difficult for a medicine and a medical system that is more attuned to mind and spirit, and is most effective when applied and approached with gentleness and insight and introspection rather than force, makes it difficult for it, but it makes it difficult for the softer, gentler method to be incorporated into the more aggressive. I'm avoiding intentionally the use of the word masculine, because I don't want to create that kind of association.
Mm-hmm.
But water, be like water. Water carved the Grand Canyon. Frozen water created the Hudson Valley in New York State. It's like that which is legitimate always endures. So it's really a matter of time. And because it's taking place already in individual relationships, it's taking place.
Let's see. Can he hear us? Michael, you there?
Michael's here. I think he was unmuting and you.
I can, yes. Can you hear me now?
Suzanne just
Excellent.
said it's tiny for me.
Suzanne just said, I totally agree with what you were saying.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, what I'm finding fascinating, I do think the conversations are starting to open between traditional medicine and holistic practitioners. Like, I'm seeing it myself, where I'm being called in to work with psychologists, psychiatrists. I've had quite a few people in the medical system asking me about energy healing. So I think that conversations are opening and people are starting to at least have the conversation, and I think that's a good thing. And I think if there's more holistic practitioners approaching it like you are, and are trying to look at both aspects of it and how can we learn from each other, then I think that conversation is going to keep opening and growing. And, I think it's a good place to be.
Agreed, fully, 100%.
Would you like to share with us about your book, your upcoming book?
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. I'm just going to relax and talk about the book for a minute. My books started out, it just went through an evolution over the weekend. And the launch date is Chinese New Year, which is in February of 2026. It was originally going to be Thanksgiving of this year, but I just recognized that because myself and my work have evolved, the book itself needs to evolve. It originally started out similar to the 4 agreements, in that there are 4 principles for the resolution or the healing of developmental trauma, infused with the principles of Chinese medicine, understanding how Chinese medicine and Eastern philosophy simply explains this 4-step process, learning how to notice, listen, wait, and then surrender. The title of the book is Surrender. But notice, listen, wait, surrender, and how this simple process is explained by Eastern medicine in a way that overcomes our Western resistance to doing things like wait. You know, we're told to be patient, be patient. And we have practices like meditation, and a lot of us are starting to meditate now. But to understand the original purpose of meditation, which creates the capacity to notice when things are disharmonious or anomalous, when something doesn't fit. It's like, wait, what was that? To have the capacity to listen. You know, there's a saying, I don't remember who said this, but in prayer, we speak to God. In meditation, God speaks to us. And our capacity to be quiet enough, you know, in meditation, we're supposed to quiet our mind. And I have so many people who come say, oh, I can't sit still, I can't be quiet. It's like, well, that's the practice, it's okay. And the mind is going to continue to run. That's the nature of the mind. But to have enough of a capacity to condition and train yourself, it's a skill that we develop. To learn how to allow the mind to be what and where it is and still have the original self restored to primacy, like up front and center, so the original self can actually listen for the guidance that's always coming from the divine to guide the life cycle. We get the instructions and the information we need for what we're supposed to be doing here with ourselves. Meditation is that portal and that access. And then once we listen, to have the ability to like, wait, is this exactly what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be doing this now? When is the time? Is this the time? Is this the one with whom I'm supposed to be doing this? And then have the willingness to surrender, which is the taking of the action. Sometimes there are things that we know we're supposed to be doing. I know I'm supposed to drink more water. And if anybody out there is familiar with the experiments of Dr. Masaru Emoto, a Japanese researcher who examined water and the psycho-emotional responsiveness, water is psychodynamic. Water responds to emotion. Drink more water. We make ourselves more easily attuned. That's why water is so important. I know I should drink more water. I know I should exercise. I know I should take a look at this thing that I've been avoiding. That is its own form of surrender, action and inaction. We have such an aversion, such resistance to the concept of surrender because we're also, some of it is just a function of being a human being in the three-dimensional realm. We are endowed with agency. We are endowed with a will that gives us free choice. And we're also conditioned in this culture that teaches us and tells us we're supposed to be doing everything by ourselves. You know, the American culture in particular, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, do this on your own. You can do this. You alone can rise to the top. We're number one. We're all supposed to be number one. And yeah, you're number one in the center of your own life and your own incarnation. And at the same time, you're not supposed to do everything by yourself. And you're not supposed to have to struggle so much by yourself. There is guidance and there are instructions for us to follow. You don't have to figure everything out by yourself. So this book takes the living of an entire human life and distills it down into 4 steps. Here's what you do to live with more peace. Here's what you do to treat your anxiety. Here's what you do to manifest your own prosperity. Here's what you do to stop suffering so much.
Can you give one piece? You spoke about meditation. Can you tell our listeners, our audience, one suggestion you would make? You give off so much calmness and peace. And for those out there who are struggling with some kind of issue of trauma or even just suffering in some way, can you give a piece of advice or suggestion?
Yeah, I'm smiling because this has been the thing lately. Well, two things that I can say. The first, you asked for one. Okay, so I'll give one. You asked for one. Uh, if you've ever felt in your life like you're being tested, like, oh my God, I'm being tested. This sucks. I'm being tested. I always feel like I'm being tested. You are. You are. And the test is rigged in your favor. When I realized that, started engaging with everything differently, the fear starts to fall away, understanding starts to emerge, and a skill that's already within you, with which you are endowed, like this is the karma. This is the figuring things out. This is what Eastern medicine refers to, Hinduism in particular, Advaita Vedanta, refers to as the Leela, the play, the dance with the universe. When you start to figure these things out and you start dancing with the universe, these tests no longer feel like something's happening to me. It's like we say, oh, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. That the test is rigged in your favor.
I'm gonna cry. That's so beautiful what you just said. I'm emotional. I can't even believe what you just said. That is so
I'm going to
helpful.
chime in, even though you can't see me, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. And I think that's so important for anyone out there that's listening tonight is we have so much more control and power than we give ourselves credit for, and I love you talking about how it's in our favor. And I think that's the biggest thing. So many of us have this fear of failure, or we're so concerned about how we're going to be perceived by others that, we don't even give ourselves a chance, or we don't take that chance. And I think that's part of the battle is, empowering yourself to say, you know what, I'm going to try this. I'm going to take that chance. I'm going to take that jump. I'm going to take that leap of faith. And Dr. M, that as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, half the battle is that initial taking that leap of faith, trusting in our own energy and trusting that, we can align and we can figure it out. And if we can't figure it out, we're going to manifest a way or the people or the places or the things into our energy field to help us figure that out, and I love what you're talking about. And I truly believe the bottom line is, trusting and having faith in the process.
Yeah. Sincerely, truly, truly trust the process, because the process is that test. The process is the life unfolding. The process is this process of creation. Whatever we understand, whatever you understand, call it the universe, call it the Atman, call it God, call it the great mind of the universe. Einstein referred to the mind of the universe. Max Planck, the father of modern physics, and Einstein's, Max Planck actually, when you observe the universe, you cannot help but conclude that the universe is conscious. Call it great consciousness, call it whatever you want, call it gravity, call it whatever you want, because it is all things. That's the process. You are the process. You are the process made manifest as one sentient conscious being. And living back into your sovereignty, the awakening of consciousness, the realizing and the understanding of who and what you are, and the becoming of that, and the living of that, in contrast to, in partnership with, and sometimes in opposition to, your natural human self, this is it.
You have another comment. So awesome. I love hearing that. So empowering. I've empowered myself. Heart.
Yeah. Hey, Suzanne. Suzanne's in it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You said that in such a majestic way. I don't even think there's anything I can add to that. And I usually have something to add to everything. No, that was fantastic. And I think anyone listening, I think, that sums it up is truly have faith in yourself and trust in the process. And that's the thing. I think as humans, we tend to, get stuck in that left brain, and we're over analytical, and we want to overthink everything rather than letting go. And what's the saying? Let go and let God. I think whatever that God is to you, whether that's source, whatever you perceive as that God, I think let go and let it free and let that divine channel be you and manifest what you're here for. I do believe we're all here for a purpose. I do believe we all incarnate into this life for some reason. Some of us, allowing that journey to unfold and figuring out what that process is could be half the battle. But I think in letting go and kind of tuning in and channeling to everything you just talked about will allow anyone to find their full potential. And in finding that full potential, will find what your soul was calling you to do here and allow that calling to unfold, and I think that's the greatest service we can do for ourselves and for those around us and for the world.
Agreed. Yeah, that's the essence of the book. Like connecting in with the soul's purpose and allowing yourself to become that, like you said, the channel for the universe to become itself, for the force to return to itself in the expression of you.
And I think that's what. Oh no, what's that, Mary?
No, the name of the book is Surrender, and I have literally been saying that to myself for the last month because I would be holding my breath, trying to, and it was almost as though I was not fighting what was going on. It was like I was trying to do my best to get things to keep moving. And in that I was too stressed about it. So then I'd say, just surrender, breathe, just surrender, breathe. So I've literally been saying that. So when I get stressed out now, I let out a breath. I catch myself holding my breath, and I'll just say to myself, surrender, surrender. Just surrender to whatever's going on because you're where you're supposed to be. This is what you asked for. This is the experience you're supposed to be having in this moment. Whatever you did in the last 5 years got you to here, and this is what you wanted. So surrender to it and just accept it and see what it is.
And that's a skill. That's why it's called a practice.
That's what?
That's why it's called a practice, a spiritual practice, because you need to continually do it. This mind that we have, I'm fascinated by this human mind with which we have been endowed. This mind, this thing with which we're always working, it's like it's the X factor. It's the thing that makes the realization of self difficult. It's the thing that gets in the way of the manifestation of the authentic original self. But this is part of the great design that is beyond our capacity to understand, really. It's like, why do we have this mind? Not for us to understand. We have this mind, and the mind will come in, and this is why one of the reasons I do EMDR work, and I work with IFS, internal family systems therapy, in my work. This mind will come in and tell you an entirely different story. Or it will get locked into the fear, because locking into the fear was a survival mechanism in the earlier parts of survival. And it's one of the things that's the common denominator for us in the human condition. It's the one thing we all have in common is fear. And the thing that moves us through and beyond it, you were talking about holding your breath, it's the breath. The breath is the link between the conscious and the unconscious. And it's the thing that defines life in this dimension. When the breath is gone, everything is gone. Breath is the first thing we do once we cross the veil of the cervix into this dimension. And breath is the last thing that we have before the soul and the consciousness exit the physical self. So you're absolutely right in it.
Yeah.
I have.
You have a client now, I know. Okay. Would you like to tell everyone how they can reach you? for any kind of treatment?
Thank you. You can reach me through my website or through the major social media platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, or my website. It's all This is Dr. M. This is drm.com, the website. This is Dr. M, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. This is DR, no period, M, like marvelous, like magnificent, like manifestation. This is DRM, Dr. M.
Okay, I will put it on the description. So the website is this is drm.com.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. I think Michael's saying goodbye. He's joining us.
Bye,
Wait,
Mike.
wait. Am I back on? Am I
You're
here with
back.
video and audio?
You're back on. Am I here? Am I back
For the
on?
final couple minutes of the show.
Oh my goodness.
No, Dr.
Yeah.
M, it's a pleasure. We are absolutely going to have you back on so we can have this discussion where everyone can.
Love you.
My video's cutting out.
Yeah.
We will have you back on. We will have you back on and
Technical
hopefully-
difficulties, but you know it's how we persevere through the technical difficulties. No, it's been a pleasure. I apologize for not being fully present in the conversation, but I don't think that mattered because I think you and Mary Amy were able to carry this wonderfully. I hope we're able to have you back at some point and I can be fully present in the conversation. But I am absolutely going to listen back on this, and I love what I've heard so far. I think is fantastic. I love your perspective. I love you bringing the energy that you do to this show. And before my audio and everything else cuts out, I just want to thank you so much for being a part of the Two Psychics podcast.
Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. M.
And to your audience. Bye, Suzanne.
Yes,
Thank you.
Suzanne's writing one more comment. She said, "Thank you for amazing show. Would love to meet you soon."
Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do
We
that.
love you.
I love you, Mary.
Okay,
Bye,
well,
Michael.
I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to message you after this.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for having me. I love
Thank you for
too.
being here. You're awesome.
Good night,
Thank
everyone.
you so much.
Good night. Okay, Michael, I guess right now you're going to just be there.
I'm gonna be a white circle with a little face in the center. That's what I'm gonna dress up for Halloween tomorrow. I'm just gonna put that picture right there you see right over my face.
Just a great little thought.
Yes.
All right. So
A
I
white
just wanna
circle.
I'm going to let everybody know. So you're getting a lot of feedback. So I'm going to mute you for 1 second. Okay. Everybody, upcoming show next week, we will be back. And you can catch this also on YouTube and Facebook for 30 days. Next week, we have Eric Vanderlaan, who's a ghost hunter and the co-host and from Parallax Paranormal. He has a channel, and that's November 6th. Then we have Dr. Michelle Adams, Doctor of Pharmacy, certified molecular practitioner, natural health coach, bioenergetic practitioner, owner of Quantum Healing and Wellness Center in Bedford Hills. Then we have Jack Roth, author and film producer, screenwriter, and he's written some books about UFOs and Kennedy. And that's November 20th. And then December 4th, we have Kelly Wagner, psychic medium from Edge Magazine. And Michael, what would you like to say? You're there, right? Hi.
I would like to say, hopefully next week we have no storms coming up the coast, knocking out all my connections, and you will be able to see me along with my fantastic co-host here with video and audio. But that's all right. You carried the show well. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Dr. M was fantastic.
This is the Truman Show. It's real life. It's real life, folks.
Yes.
Now, if you would like
We
to
will
find
see you.
eyeofthespirits.com he does mediumship galleries. He does live events with me. He does live events with other people. You can go for a private session or down the Jersey Shore, do a mediumship gallery. Go see him. You can find me, MarieAmyOfficial.com, and I will give you some kind of psychic reading, intuitive reading. If you need a personal intuitive coach, I'm offering that 3 times a week for a month. For 4 weeks, we can meet for an hour, 3 times a week. And my Facebook page is Mary Amy, and you can find Michael and I on Two Psychics podcast page, and you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Spreaker, Amazon, and YouTube. And anything you'd like to say, Michael, before you go? I can't unmute you for some reason.
Yeah, follow Two Psychics podcast on Facebook. Follow Mary Amy Official. Follow Eye of the Spirits with Michael Edley. Any of those pages will lead you to the Two Psychics podcast, anything we are doing. And I hope to see you next week, or hopefully you see me next week.
We have one more comment. Great show from Jessica. Is it one of your friends? SKOLA?
What is up, Jessica? Unfortunately, you just get to see a nice little round white circle tonight. It's my Halloween costume. I'm in costume tonight, but it's all good. But we will see you next week.
And we'll be back
Thank
next
you so much.
Thursday at 7:30 live here on Facebook and YouTube. Everyone be well and have a happy Halloween tomorrow. Go get dressed up in a costume.
Make sure it's a little white circle like I have tonight. Isn't it a cool one? Happy Halloween, everyone. See you next week.
I don't know where the outro is. I guess this is it.
Welcome to Two Psychics. This is Michael Edley, evidential medium and mystic, discussing all things spiritual.
Hello, I'm Mary Amy of Two Psychics, an intuitive wisdom coach, tapping into your mystical life and sharing messages I receive about you.